Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a brand new pick a card reading for you guys today. And today we are looking at your April 2024 reading. So this is going to be your forecast, your predictions, your energy check, all that good stuff for what may be coming up for you this April 2024. So exciting. So before we dive into the pile introductions here, I just want to ask you guys to go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. That helps me out a lot right here on the YouTube algorithm. Drop me a comment down below. Even if it's a simple small emoji, it goes a long way. So feel free to say hi. Don't be shy by all means. And if I wind up resonating with you as a reader, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time there is a brand new reading, a brand new update, a brand new live, a brand new anything of anything that is happening around here on this channel. So I would definitely appreciate that. And more importantly, if I really wind up resonating with you as a reader, please feel free to go ahead and check out my website, shadowandshine.com. You can find a variety of personal readings available over there, and I would love to be able to assist you on more of a one-on-one type of level on your own journey personally. These readings are, of course, they're general, they're for the collective, they're open for the public. So these readings here, some things may make sense for you, other things may not. But in a personal reading, we can do just that. We can really get personal and deep dive into what is happening in your life exactly. So yeah, if you're interested in that, head on over to my website. There's a whole variety of readings over there that you can choose from. Image readings, video readings, Zoom readings, a whole bunch. And also, if you do readings yourself, whether it's just like for fun, as a hobby, for yourself, for friends, for your own clients, I have my own oracle decks available over there as well. I create and make my own over there. So if you're interested in adding one of those to your collection, you can find them over there. I will be using one of them actually here in this very reading, for example. So, yeah, all that good stuff, all the 411 you need to know, my other social medias, information about me if you just want to get to know who I am a little bit better. Once again, the one-stop shop for all of that is shadowandshine.com. So go ahead and check it out. And finally, you guys, I want to invite you to join me over on Patreon as well. I have a Patreon and I love my patrons over there. They are fantastic. It's a great community. We do weekly card pulls, daily card pulls. There's a Discord community. Ultimately, it's a really great place if you're looking to connect with other people, especially those who are like-hearted and like-minded. So if you're looking for a place to connect and build friendships, build community, and simply, have fun while going about the journey of life, that is definitely the place to be. And I would love to invite you to join us over on Patreon. So with all that said and done, once again, Patreon, that's also in the link down below as well. All the 411, every bit of information you need to know is all in the description box down there. It is down there in that description box. So feel free to check that out. Anyways, let's get into our pile introductions here and see what it is that we need to know for April of 2024. And hopefully my dogs don't bark, but they're barking apparently. Maybe they want to pick a card as well. Okay, so pile number 1 is the Pyrite Turtle. He's so cute and he's brand new. I literally just got him this past weekend. So he's so cute. I had to include him. So there we go. Pyrite Turtle. Pile 2 is a piece of astrophyllite, which is pretty cool. I don't know why I felt motivated to pick all crystals that kind of had like a, either golden, copperish kind of shiny tone to it. It just, I don't know. It was the mood for April, apparently. I don't know why, but it just was. Pile 3, we have some goldstone. You can see that ring light reflecting in there. It's obviously very smooth, but we have goldstone. And finally, pile 4, we have a copper sphere. I love holding this copper sphere because it's so solid. It really helps you get grounded and connected to the earth. So yeah, we have this beautiful copper sphere. So there you go. Those are your 4 pile options. You can choose by crystal, by number, by your own intuition. Most importantly, like choose by your own intuition. Whatever stands out to you, go with that. You can choose one pile. You can choose multiple childs. Wow, I don't even know where that came from. Maybe this has something to do with a child. I don't know. I can't talk apparently. Multiple piles. So it's totally up to you, totally up to your discretion. But for now, we are going to dive in. We are going to jump in here with pile number 1, our little pyrite turtle group. So let's see what's going on. Pile 1. Hi, pile 1. If you chose this cute little pyrite turtle, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what you have in store for April 2024. All right, we're going to stick our little turtle guy right there between the unicorn and the doggy. All of my little carved animal crystals. I love them all. And let's get into it. We're going to start off with your unicorn oracle cards. So we've got some unicorn oracle cards, and let's see what's going on. What do you guys need to know for April 2024? Imagination. Envision a new reality. Give yourself permission to dream, believe in unlimited possibilities. Ooh, that is a fabulous energy to kick off April. So as you guys know, it is springtime. April is spring. And spring is a season of new beginnings. It's a time of births. It's a time of, just like freshness, newness, things blooming and blossoming. And I feel like your imagination is up on deck for some blossoming as well. So, it's almost like Spirit is basically saying, like, don't worry about being so realistic this month. Like, be okay with dreaming, be okay with stepping outside the box. You don't have to be so realistic about everything. If people were realistic all the time, there would be no Disneyland, That's like the first thing that comes to my mind is like Walt Disney. Like, obviously he had a dream and he was rejected for being an animator before he created like Walt Disney Studios and everything, and basically did his own thing. But he's not the only one. There's so many immensely talented and gifted people out there who were rejected so many times before they actually like were finally noticed for their talents, whether it was somebody finally discovered them or they simply had to do it themselves. They didn't give up though. They didn't, say, hey, I'm just going to do the easy thing. I'm just going to do the safe thing. I'm just going to do this 9-to-5 job. I mean, truthfully, you can't even necessarily rely on a 9-to-5 job these days anymore. They don't provide the same benefits that they used to. They don't guarantee job security. They're not really looking out for their employees. They're looking out for the corporations nowadays. So it's like, why would you bend over backwards for a 9-to-5 job anyways now? Because it is no promise of security or safety. So if you're not even promised any security in that, you might as well go ahead and dream big and do your own thing and just go for it. So I feel like that's definitely going to be a huge theme on deck for you guys this month for April of 2024. So Spirit may be testing you to just like step out and find out. Yeah, so if you find yourself trying to be realistic, it may not go very well. Spirit is probably going to be stretching your wings, saying, "Hey, do the thing that you're really passionate about. Do the wild and crazy creative thing. Think outside the box. Don't put yourself in the box." We also have adventure. Dare to do things differently. Manifest your travel dreams. Ooh, move to a new location. Okay. So that's interesting. I was not expecting moving to be coming up here as a topic. So for some of you, this could quite literally mean moving this month. We are going to start getting into moving season as we get into spring and as we get into summertime. People do move a lot more often during those months because the weather is obviously more favorable in those times. You could be one of those people doing that yourself. You could be up on deck doing some moving, in fact, for you. But what I love about this card is it mentions adventure, and I feel like that's a really good piggyback here on the imagination card, because when you're stepping out and you're, being a little unrealistic and going for some dreams and going for some goals that are not necessarily a promise of security, but it is a promise of satisfaction within. It's an adventure. It's an adventure because you are headed into the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to fall flat on your face. And that can be really scary, but it can also be really exhilarating because on the flip side, you could also succeed. As Shadow agrees. If you hear him barking, I'm sorry. Shadow, quiet. It's like he's barking at the snow outside. It's April, yes, and it's snowing outside. But welcome to Colorado living. Um, anyways, yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. Anyways, I may have to close the blinds because usually when he's looking at things outside, that's when he gets a little crazy. So, yeah, on the flip side, like I said, you could succeed. Also think of what could go right, what could go well in this scenario. And as for the moving part, if the moving part fits for your situation, I feel like for some of you, yes, the moving part may make sense. For others of you, you may not be moving at all. And this is just about you stepping outside of the box and doing the creative thing, doing the big goal, doing the big dream, and heading into the unknown with that in that terms of adventure. For others of you, it can involve moving, and that can involve the big dream, the big goal that you have in mind for yourself. Maybe you're going to be moving to your dream house or your dream location, for example. I myself can personally relate to this many times over. You know, in 2006, I moved to LA from Chicago, and that was a huge dream for me. That was the first time that I like flew the coop. I can't talk. Flew the coop and left home. And I didn't just, move across the street or move to a different town in the same area. I moved completely clear across the country as my first venture in leaving home and moving out. Once again, Shadow agrees. That's how I met Shadow. I found him in LA. So anyways, maybe I should move over and he should do the reading, obviously. But yeah, I moved there in 2006 and I had no idea what I was doing, and I was terrified, and I had never been on my own before, and it was definitely the unknown and an adventure, but it was my dream at the same time. And then 15 years later, in 2021, I moved back to Chicago for a hot minute. And then last year, I moved here to Colorado in 2023. And that was a new dream and a new kind of like unknown adventure. It wasn't as terrifying, I guess you could say, as LA was, because I had already lived that, been there, done that, older now, know how to be on my own now, all that kind of stuff. But it was still like a new dream and a new place and all this other kind of stuff. So you could be going through something similar. Even if it's not necessarily moving to a different state, it could be a big enough and significant enough of a move to you that like that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what it looks like to anybody else. If it's a big and significant thing to you, that's all that matters. But yeah, there definitely could be moving on deck. Either way, those things definitely tie in together. All right, so we have a couple of cards here for you guys from the Divine Feather Oracle. Here's one of them. I don't know what it is. Let's flip it over. It's the Heron. The Heron says, let go of convention and follow your own unique path. You guys, this is like the same thing over and over again. We have an indefinite theme here. Convention, once again, that's about fitting inside the box. That's about meeting expectations of others, societal standards, social and cultural programming. So I feel like you guys are shedding a lot of that this month in April. A lot of that. To me, when I think of societal standards, I think of, go to school, graduate, get a 9-to-5 job, work something possibly corporate, for example, get married, have a family, have the house with the white picket fence. I think of all those things. And there's nothing wrong with all of those things, obviously. Like if that's your dream and that's your desire, that's fine. But for most people usually dream of something a little bit different from that. Maybe a little combination of a couple of those things, but usually it's something different. And if you are dreaming of something different, if you don't want to fit into that box, like now is the time to break that mold, you guys. Break that mold, get out of that box. Do you follow your own unique path? Now, I'm not saying that's going to be easy. There could be people who come up against you on that. There could be people who think you're making a mistake. There could be people who think you're crazy. But that's okay. It's not their life. They don't have to live it. You are the only one who is living your life. So you better be living it on your terms for what you want and for what you desire, because you don't want to look back years down the line when you're like 70, 80 years old and saying, oh man, I wish if only I had. If only I had. I would rather have a life full of, mistakes of things that I made than a life of what ifs. What if it had worked out? What if this had happened? At least And that's okay, because even if you do fall, and even if you do hit a few bumps and bruises and scrapes along the way, it's okay. Because the universe will always redirect your steps and put you back on the right track of where you need to go and get you to where you're going. So don't worry about it. Life is messy. Okay, now we have a white feather, which is the white eagle. The connection to divine guidance is within you. So trust yourself, you guys. Once again, going on this new adventure, stepping outside of the box, breaking out of convention, doing your own thing. It can be really terrifying, and you can have those moments where you are kind of questioning yourself, like, am I doing the right thing? I don't know. You let those doubts and you let those worries and you let those what ifs kind of creep into your head, and you're like, I don't know. Like, is this really right? But trust yourself. Just trust yourself. You know what you're doing better than you think you do. Like, this is going to be a very small example of this, but the other day, I was looking through my Facebook memories and I had posted some of them. And one of them was a Facebook memory from a couple years ago of a TikTok that I had posted, and it was a TikTok trend. And the TikTok trend was like this audio where you're supposed to like put in the video or whatever, like a little list of 5 celebrities that you've been in the same room with, and one is a lie, and people had to guess which one was the lie. So I posted this memory to Facebook, and a friend of mine commented on it, and she commented the wrong one. She guessed wrong. But when I told her what the real answer was, she was just like, oh, that was actually my first choice, but I didn't go with it. And I went with this one instead. And I told her, I was like, trust your intuition, which is true. Like, trust yourself. You know, you may think you're going a little crazy, but usually that first gut instinct is going to be the right answer. So trust yourself. The divine, universe, God, source, spirit, whatever language you want to use to call it, is on your side, and you are supported. So, you know, trust in that. All right. So those are your divine feather messages, your unicorn messages. And now we got some messages from my very own Oracle deck in my feels. Small little plug here. Once again, this is available on my website, shadowandshine.com, as well as Etsy. But let's see what you guys got for April of 2024 here. Festive, merry, joyful. Yes, we love yes energy. So celebrate, you guys. Like all this here that you have going on with a potential move, if you're going to be moving, stepping outside the box, doing your own thing, breaking mental strongholds and saying, hey, this is me. That's something to celebrate. That is something to celebrate, you guys. Like, this is celebratory energy. So, you know, don't be down, don't be frustrated, don't be scared. I know you're going to be feeling a whole mixture of things probably, but you know, allow that joy to take over. Celebrate you, celebrate your wins this month. That is so incredibly important. All right, what else do we have here? Ooh, greedy, selfish, egotistical. Okay, so honestly, when I see this card, I don't feel like it's you guys who are going to be the selfish ones. Because this is like a lot of positive energy, a lot of positive transformational energy that we have happening for April. And something like this doesn't necessarily align. But what it does tell me is this may represent the energy of people around you or a person around you who is probably not going to understand all of this. They may not understand why you're moving. They may not understand why you're stepping up into this new path in your life. They may not understand why you have decided to stop bowing down to social and cultural programming, and why you have decided to, you know, just like take this new route, which is totally you, but they may think it's totally weird. And I feel like their greediness is they may feel greedy for the previous version of you. They may feel greedy for the person who stayed inside that box, for the person who bowed down to convention. And I feel like the reason why they may be greedy about that is because in some way, shape, or form, it benefited them. So this is definitely someone, like I said, who's selfish. They're in it for them. So whoever this person is, you know, I feel like you probably will come across this kind of friction at some point in April. So don't let this person get you down. Like, you have no reason to listen to this, you know, especially if it's someone who is out for their own interests and everything. If this person actually cared about you, if this person had any kind of empathy, even if they didn't understand it, they would respect it. Like, there's a difference. There's a difference in that. You know, someone can say like, hey, I don't understand what you're getting. I don't understand what you're doing. I personally wouldn't do it, but I love you and I care about you and I support you as a human being. So you have my support, even though I don't get it. Like, that's okay. But I don't feel like it's that kind of energy. It's not that kind of person. This is someone who's probably going to gaslight you and make you feel guilty for taking the leaps of faith that you're going to be taking in April. So do not let this person get you down. Please do not. And this is one of the reasons why I invite people to my Patreon, because a lot of people may be trying to break away from people like this in their life and need support and need encouragement. And if you are making positive changes in your life, where you are stepping into your true authentic self and valuing yourself more, it's hard to do that by yourself. You need other people around you who love you and support you and have your back. And that's why I created my Patreon. So please, if you feel alone in this transformation this month, please come and join us over on Patreon, because, hopefully we can help cancel out some of that greedy energy coming in from people that you don't need that nonsense in your life. And you can have love and support and encouragement from other people who have a similar vision with you and want you to live your best life just as much as I'm sure you're going to want the other people in that Patreon group to live their best life. It's a good, fair exchange. So anyways, just wanted to let you know that as well, that is an option, that you do have options out there. You don't have to be alone in this. We also have numb, no feelings, maybe. Interesting. So, when we are going through a lot of transformation, when we are going through a lot of changes, it can be very overwhelming to the point where we can almost feel numb to it. So I would say try not to get to that place where you're almost like numb to the changes that are going on. Feel them and embrace them, every single one of those emotions, the good ones and the bad ones, because that's pretty common, especially like in the event, like if you are going through a move. I can't tell you how many times I have felt like happy, excited type of emotions in a move, and then also almost kind of like grieving and grief for the life that you're leaving behind in a move. And you could be experiencing a lot of that this month yourself right now. And there's always that temptation to want to numb ourselves off from not necessarily the positive emotions, but just the amount of emotions, and especially those negative ones. But don't do that. Don't numb yourself off, because you gotta feel your way through this entire situation here. Then we have cranky, cranky, crabby, grumpy, grouchy. No, I feel like once again we're tapping into the energy of that greedy person. Because I don't feel like that's you guys. I really don't. Like, I feel like as long as you guys are being true to yourself and authentic and going through those changes that you need to this month, or making that big move, like there's no reason for you to feel grumpy. But I feel like once again, this is probably going to upset people who are around you. That's definitely their energy. It could be the same person, it could be multiple people. But once again, I don't want you guys to be pulled down. I don't want you guys to feel weighed down from this person's negativity, their greediness, and it's going to leave them feeling cranky ultimately. The fact that you're not bowing down to what they want and what they desire. This is not going to be a pleasant person to be around. So if you can, I would definitely put up some boundaries and put up some distance with that person throughout these changes. And once again, if you are in need of support, if you are in need of encouragement through this change, please join us on Patreon. And then we have nerdy. Smart, intelligent, maybe. So the nerdy card, like, he's kind of a fun guy. He's like, he's like a white Steve Urkel. Anyways, with our nerdy energy coming in, I feel like this is more of the energy of you, because you are smart and you are intelligent. So I feel like if this cranky and greedy person, like if they call you stupid, if they call you dumb, like you don't know what you're doing or whatever, I feel like this card is a reminder here for you guys that you are smart. You are intelligent. You do know what you're doing. So trust your gut. I feel like the nerdy part is almost kind of like the outcast part of this. Not that you're necessarily a nerd, that you're like this guy or whatever. I mean, you could be, but I feel like it's more so the outcast vibe, because usually the nerds, especially if you look at like stereotypical nerds in like pop culture and that kind of thing, they're usually the outcasts. They're not the cool kids. They're not sitting at the popular table during lunch or anything. They're the outcasts. And you may be the outcast in a lot of ways. But just because you're the outcast doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. Um, it's the nerds who kind of like take over the world in a sense, right? Um, so yeah, so just be you, be lovable, amazing, and nerdy and dorky and geeky you. Like there's nothing wrong with that. You know what you're doing. It's okay to be an outcast. Being an outcast nowadays is cool. It's cool. It's a good thing. Um, so don't worry about that. Don't worry about fitting in. You do your own thing. You've got this. You know what you're doing. Just tap into it from a more confident place. And that can be the tricky part is, tapping into the confidence that we need in that. So, anyways, that's basically what I have for you guys for your April 2024 pick a card reading. If the message didn't if the message didn't apply, let it fly, of course. But if it did make sense, if it did resonate, now you know. Take the parts that do make sense for you. Like I said, some of you may be moving, others of you may not. But either way, I feel like the overall vibe here is definitely transformation, stepping into the real you, the real and true authentic you, shedding a lot of that social cultural programming that's going on, and really embracing who you truly are, which is a beautiful thing, and I'm so excited for that for you. um, so yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting month up here for you guys. So that's what I have for you guys. Like I said, before we wrap this video up, if you guys could once again give this video a big thumbs up, I would definitely appreciate that. That helps me out a lot right here on this lovely little YouTube algorithm thing we have going on here. And if you enjoyed this reading, if you like me as a reader, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know of future readings and lives and updates and all that good stuff coming your way here. And also, if I resonate with you as a reader and you want to like deep dive more so into stuff like this for you personally, not on a general level, not on a collective level, hit me up on my website, shadowandshine.com. That is where all of my readings are, and you can get your own reading over there. And if you like my oracle decks, like this one here, in my feels, you can find that over on my website as well. So oracle decks are there, readings are there. It's the one-stop shop for everything ultimately. So once again, shadowandshine.com. And also, like I said, I would love to have you guys over on Patreon. Patreon is a great place. It's a great place not only for the readings with the daily card pulls and the weekly card pulls and all that good stuff, but the community there is like really the sweet spot. And ultimately, like, we need each other in order to grow and learn and evolve in this world. We're not meant to do this life thing isolated and alone. We need people, but we need the right people. And I'm hoping that people can find their tribe, that people can find their soul family and that kind of thing within that community. So if Patreon is something that interests you, I would love to see you over there too. So either way, there's a lot of stuff going on. So please join me. Join me. This is your invitation. So that's about it. But I am hoping you guys have a super blessed, super abundant, and amazing April. And I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose this beautiful piece of astropholite, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what is in store for you April 2024. All right. Put our little astrophyllite piece there. And we're going to get started. Okay. So we're going to kick things off here with a couple of cards from the Unicorn Oracle. You guys got dance. Make your body move, but move your body to music. Dance with the rhythm of life. Manifest your dreams through dance. I love that. I feel like there's so much of a freeing kind of energy with this. So I mean, number one, first and foremost, right off the bat, you may resonate with this if you are actually a dancer yourself, or if you're someone who, loves dancing and it's just a thing that you do and it's something that you love. So if you're a dancer or you just love dancing in general, this definitely may resonate. But if you're sitting here looking at this and you're like, dancing, I don't know, like, I'm not a really good dancer. I don't really feel comfortable dancing, or anything like that. Just because you personally may not feel like the world's best dancer doesn't mean that this doesn't apply, though, because I feel like if it's something you're a little bit more uncomfortable with, Spirit could be asking you to shake it up a little bit and to loosen up, because regardless of talent, regardless of whether you're a bad dancer or a good dancer, I think we all kind of have that natural reaction when a song comes on that we really love and sounds good and the beat is good and the melody is good and everything's just good. Our body just moves just naturally, even in the slightest of ways, whether it's a head bob or a hand clap or snap snap or whatever it is that you're doing. A foot tap. We all kind of naturally go to that place of wanting to move our bodies, and it is very freeing. It's like a release is what it comes down to. So I feel like number one, yes, dance. That doesn't mean you have to do it in public or anything. Maybe just, in the comforts of your own home. That's totally fine. You can close the blinds. No one has to watch you. But regardless, just dance. I feel like it's gonna be very freeing in a sense. It'll be good for you physically, and I feel like if it's good for you physically, it'll be good for you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually as well. I mean, music in general is extremely therapeutic. There's this thing called music therapy, for example. So, whether it's in the melodies or the lyrics or a combination of both, it can be very helpful. So I feel like music and dance and moving your body, all very good stuff that you'll be doing in the month of April. So that's pretty cool. All right, what else do we have going on here with the unicorns? Possibility. Raise your standards, elevate your expectations. You have unlimited potential. I love this. And the imagery on this card is just so beautiful. You got that gorgeous light blue sky and the unicorn just kind of sailing across those gray and purple kind of clouds with the sun just shining down on its back. Beautiful imagery, right? So, okay, possibility. I feel like with this card coming through, I feel like you guys have definitely experienced some unfortunate setbacks and disappointments. And they've been pretty heavy duty. They've been pretty significant. And I feel like because of these setbacks and disappointments, because you've experienced them in such frequency and in such severity, that you just don't get your hopes up anymore. That your view is kind of, when it comes to the phrase hope for the best, expect the worst, I feel like you guys just kind of skip over the hope for the best part and you just automatically like expect the worst. like almost to the point where it can be overly critical. It's like something positive can happen, something good can happen. And it's not like you're being critical on purpose, but I feel like there might be a part of you that really digs around to find out like what the problem is, as opposed to just accepting it as this positive thing as it is. It's like someone could feed you a very genuine, very real compliment, and you will go out of your way to find something wrong with that compliment and be just like, well, no, it's really like this. It's really like that. Um, so I feel like with that kind of mentality, and you guys should not be that hard on yourself. No, definitely not. Like you're you're being your own worst enemy when you have that kind of mind frame. But if you are in that kind of headspace, um, I feel like this card is reminding you of the possibilities, reminding you that there's so much more beyond any setbacks or any disappointments that you've encountered, that the show isn't over, that there's so much more, and that you're going to miss out on it if you keep focusing on, you know, like it's a sunny day, and if you're just focused on that one little cloud in the sky, thinking it's completely ruined the sunny exposure, but it really hasn't. So it's time to look at those possibilities. Yes, elevate your expectations, elevate them, you know. Um, and I know, especially if you have experienced a lot of disappointment, that can be a very scary thing to do, because you don't want to get your hopes up. Because when you get your hopes up, you get hurt. And number one, I don't feel like you guys are going to be in store for any hurt by raising those expectations. Um, Also, remember what we put out into the world, we're going to attract back to us. And if you're having problems manifesting stuff, it could be because you're constantly expecting the bad. And I'm not saying that bad won't happen, but I am saying at least if you start getting your hopes up a little bit, you leave room for something good to actually happen. And it can and it will. All right. We also have a couple cards here from the Divine Feather Oracle. See, we got a divine feather here for you. And this one is the dove. I love the dove. Doves are so pretty. Little city, little pigeons in a sense. They're related to pigeons. Anyways, feel and allow a deeper sense of peace, because doves are all about peace, to fill you now. This is a divine quality. Okay, so once again, I strongly kind of get the vibe from this group that you guys are kind of like my tortured souls in a sense. You guys have been through a lot. This is the group that has really been through a ringer. And when it comes to getting your hopes up or raising expectations, like we were just talking about here with possibilities, sometimes it's hard to get to that like more happy and more joyful place. And maybe the place you need to be going to at least be open for hope and happiness and joy is more so to a place of peace. You can't, like, for example, if you have been hospitalized, like let's say you had like a really extreme bad case of the flu or something, right? And it was so bad you had to be hospitalized. Um, you need to like get to a stable place before you can be released from that hospital, right? Like, and even when you are released, you may not feel 100%. You still may be recovering a little bit, but you're healthy enough and you're well enough that you can go home, but you should still probably take it easy a little bit before you get back into your full, complete, normal routine. So I feel like for you guys, peace is like you getting to that stable point. Like right now, mentally and emotionally, you may be kind of in critical condition where you're not doing so great, where you've been depressed, where you've been down and out, where life has kind of just pushed you down. Um, and it's really hard to go from, you know, the first like ground level, like straight up to the 10th floor. You got to go to the first floor first, or you got to go to the second floor from the first floor, and then the second floor to the third floor, and so on and so forth, before you can get to that 10th floor. So I feel like for you guys, you just need to find that stability and peace, and that can be really tricky to do sometimes. But I do feel like Spirit is there with you and is reminding you that peace is available to you. It's a hard thing to find. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It is a tricky thing to find. But once you find it, like, you'll be able to really have that strong sense of mobility to move up from there. And then we have this feather, which is the condor. Hold the highest vision of your life. You now possess the ability to move past any hurdles. So, yeah, I'm telling you guys, the hurdles, the setbacks, the disappointments, that season is done. It's over. It's completed. It's finished. April, this month, is the chance for you to start reshaping and changing things. Now is the time for you guys to actually step into different possibilities, and you get to elevate the expectations. You get to hold the highest vision of your life. Spirit doesn't want you to dream small. Doesn't want you to dream small at all. Spirit wants you to dream big. And I know that can be scary once again when you've been through the ringer, because it's just like, really? Is this really a wise idea to get my hopes up about this? But it's time that you do. Because if you keep expecting mediocre or less than mediocre or bad or whatever it is, you're just going to get more of that. And you don't, like, that's done. There's an opportunity to get out of that. And the only way you're going to get out of it 100% is for you to start flipping that script. So now is the time, you guys. Okay, so now we have a few cards from my own Oracle deck in my feels. And let's see what's happening emotionally here for April. Oh, you guys got my favorite card in the deck. My absolute favorite one. So you guys got the cute card. And you want to know why this one is my favorite? I'll tell you. Because, like all the other pictures, all the other images in this deck are, like stock photo images, right? This one, though, it's a personal candid from my own collection, and that would be my Tinkerbell. My Tinkerbell all wrapped up, snug as a bug in a rug, in a towel after a bath of hers. And, when I was coming up with the images for the word cute, like all I could think of were my own two dogs, my own two little babies. And I was like, they are cute. They are adorable. And I'm like, I have to use a really cute picture of one of them. So voila, here she is. So you guys got cute, adorable, charming. So see, this is a sign right here that things are not as bad as you guys may dread and fear and think that it is. There's some cute energy going on here. There's definitely some cuteness happening. So there could be some cuteness coming into your life. It could be you that's cute. There could be someone around you who's cute. We're going to dig into more of these cards here to see exactly what this cute energy may be attached to. But regardless, cute energy is positive energy. It's happy energy. It's yes energy. So you guys have got to stop fearing for the worst, because you could have a cute April coming up here. All right. What else is happening? Resilient, yes. And I feel like this definitely describes you guys. Tough, endurance. So, once again, this is an example of you. And I know, honestly, being resilient is hard. It's exhausting. It's rough. And I remember a long time ago, I saw this meme, this quote or something, and it said something along the lines of, I'm tired of being resilient. I want to be safe. I want to be secure. I want to not have to worry about things. And that deeply resonated for me, because I was just like, everyone looks at resiliency as this powerful, wonderful, majestic thing. And it is. I'm not saying it's not, but it is tiring. And you may feel that way too, where you're just like, you know what? I'm tired of being resilient. I just want to rest. Um, and I do feel like there is an opportunity for you to rest, obviously. But I do feel like Spirit is acknowledging this energy within you, that you are resilient, that you have been through a lot, that you have been through probably more than most people have. You have been through things that people don't even know about, that people aren't even aware. Um, there are unfortunate things that have happened to you, and unfortunate things that never should have happened, um, that were put upon you, that you've never told a soul about, that you're the only one who knows about it. And it's tough. It's tough holding on to that stuff. It's really hard carrying that, especially as you're going uphill like this and no one else knows you're holding on to it. So you've been through a lot. Like, I wish I could reach through my iPod Touch that I record my readings on. I wish I could reach through that thing right now and just give you a big hug, because I feel like whoever's energy I'm tapping into, like I said, you've been through a lot, and you definitely deserve so much better. And I strongly believe better is on the way for you, but I feel like Spirit is definitely taking this moment here to acknowledge your strength and your endurance and your resiliency that other people would have like completely crushed and crumbled under what you have been through. It's like you guys are being refined by the fire, being turned into diamonds, refreshed, clean, bright, clear. So I feel like this month is going to be very refreshing for you. um, it's funny, we have a girl who's in the shower here. Kind of reminds me April showers, May flowers kind of thing. um, but I do feel like you're in a season of cleansing. You're cleansing away all that toxicity, all that dirt, all that negativity, all of that just like nasty stuff from your past. You're cleansing that. And it's a healing journey. It's a challenging journey, but it's a worthwhile journey. And I feel like with this combination of cleansing and dancing, because once again, I feel like the dancing, the moving your body and everything, it's really going to help you guys. Um, it's really going to help you guys just kind of like, in a sense, shake the negativity quite physically out of you. It reminds me of, and once again, dancing is a form of exercise. So it also reminds me of that quote from Legally Blonde when Elle Woods said, "Exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people just don't shoot their husbands." And that's why it's like, yes, move your body. It's going to give you those endorphins. Those endorphins are going to boost those levels inside of you with the endorphins, so you can raise those standards, raise those expectations, start believing in possibilities, and reaching for the stars kind of stuff again. And yeah, it's a very cleansing thing. You're cleansing away the old, you're cleansing away the garbage, you're cleansing away the junk. It's like you're cleansing away winter, the winter of your life. And now it's like you're refreshing and rejuvenating things and making things clean for like springtime within your own life to start blossoming and blooming, is what it comes down to. We have jealousy, envy, discontentment. So I don't feel like this is you guys. I don't feel like you're the ones who are jealous here. But I do feel like there are people, or at least one person, who is very significantly jealous of you. And this may have been a part of the issues from the past. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but it very well could be tied to some of the junk and toxicity of the past. So whoever this person or people are, it would definitely be best to put some boundaries up, um, to definitely distance yourself. And especially right now, I feel like the jealousy is flaring up definitely in present tense, because you are in the process of evolving all of this, you dancing and getting your life happy and cleansing your life and, taking the garbage out, making things fresh and new, you being so strong and resilient here, those are all qualities that whoever this person is, they don't have. They don't own those qualities. And they see that in you and they see that superstar quality in you and they envy the shit out of that. And now I feel like it makes sense as to where this cute energy comes from because you guys are the cuties. You guys are cute. You are cute as a button. Just like Tinkerbell, you guys are adorable. Believe it or not, you are adorable. And again, I feel like that's something that they're jealous of. That people take notice of you. Even if it's complete and total strangers, people take notice of you. They take notice of you because you have this star quality. You're adorable. You're strong. You're resilient. People take note of that. And whoever this person is, they don't like that. They don't like that at all. So, considering this is an April reading, I do feel like they're probably going to flare up their green monster of jealousy and envy will probably flare up in them at some point throughout the course of this month. But I'm telling you right now, do not let them derail you. Do not let them throw you off course with what you're doing. Because as long as you guys stay focused, keep your eyes on the prize, you will be just fine. What is going on over there? Speaking of dogs, I keep hearing them, I don't know, doing stuff. They're playing. It's fine. I just want to make sure no one's peeing back there because that's what Tinkerbell does. She may be cute, but she's a troublemaker sometimes. Okay. And we have desperate, clingy, frantic. So again, I feel like that is the jealous person we're tapping into here. So I feel like their jealousy turns them into being very desperate. And this desperation kind of energy, it may present itself in a few different ways. They could be desperate and clingy towards you. So, like, for example, I already mentioned, this person starts displaying this type of behavior towards you this month. You're going to need to establish boundaries, right? Well, you may establish your boundaries. They may react poorly to that and start acting like this girl here in the card and just get clingier and get more desperate and try to grab your attention even harder because they don't like that. They don't want to be rejected. They don't understand. They just don't get it, is what it comes down to. So you may see that kind of reaction from them. But yeah, I feel like this person is very desperate to keep you down, is what it comes down to. It reminds me of like the whole thing of crabs in a bucket. Of like crabs in a bucket. If you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket or lobsters, some crustacean, it maybe it's both of them, I don't know. But we're gonna go with crabs. I think it's crabs. If you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket and there's one who decides to get a little ambitious and adventurous and they try to climb their way out of that bucket, the other crabs are going to get mad and they try to pull that other one back down. They try to pull them back down to their level. And I feel like this person may be desperate enough to try to do the same thing with you, where you're going to be stepping up. You're going to be trying to better your life this month. And I do feel like you guys will succeed. Once again, you got that resilience in you. You guys are going to succeed. You're going to be fine in this. I'm not worried about that at all. But I do feel like this person may try to pull you down as you're in the process of bettering yourself. And I'm just telling you right now, don't let them get that foothold. Don't let them do that. Just keep on keeping on. Don't give them any attention. Don't fuel the fire. Definitely like giving into them is just going to make it worse. So stand firm in your boundaries. This may be harder if this is someone that you care about very deeply. But in the end, it's going to be to not only your benefit, but their benefit as well if you do this. It may be challenging in your connection to this person for the time being, but if you really care about them, down the road, they may eventually learn and understand and get it. And, after some time and maturity, be able to understand where you were coming from with this, like when the time is right. So, anyways, that's basically what I have for you guys for your April 2024 pick a card reading, your predictions for this month. Not gonna lie, it's definitely going to be a challenge, I guess you could say. I don't see this as necessarily an easy energy, but I do definitely see it as something that you guys can excel in and overcome and achieve. That's for sure. So that's what I see for you guys happening this month. Um, Anyways, if the message didn't apply, just let it fly. But if it did resonate, then of course you will know exactly why. Before we wrap this video up here, I just would ask you guys to please give this video a big thumbs up because that helps me out a lot right here on the YouTube algorithm. And if I resonated with you as a reader, feel free to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell because when you do, you will be up to date with every new thing happening here on this channel, whether it is a brand new video upload of a reading, a new live, new updates in general, whatever it may be. And also, don't be shy. Feel free to drop me a comment down below. And even if it's just a simple small emoji, that's totally cool. That always helps out too. Finally, if I resonate with you guys as a reader and you would like to go deeper, like much deeper into things for yourself personally, since of course these readings are general and available for the collective, but if you wanted to get into things specifically for you, head on over to my website, shadowandshine.com, and you can find personal readings over there. And also, if you enjoyed like this oracle deck here, my very own oracle deck in my feels, you can find that one as well as others, and you can add any of those to your own personal collection. So yeah, all things over there, one-stop shop right over on shadowandshine.com. And finally, I welcome you guys to join me over on Patreon. Patreon is a wonderful community. We do daily card pulls, weekly card pulls, all kinds of fun things over there. And I would love to have you guys join me there. There's also free posts that are there. So if you just want to sign up, even just being a free member at first before like really diving in deep, like that's totally cool and that's totally an option as well. But yeah, I would love to have you over on Patreon. So anyways, that's pretty much it. And I am wishing you guys a very blessed, a very abundant, and a very wonderful April this year, April of 2024. I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, pile 3. If you chose this goldstone crystal, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what is in store for you this April 2024. All right, so we got a few different decks going on here we're going to get into, but the first one we're going to get into are your 2 cards from the Unicorn Oracle. All right, so first you guys got patience. Pause before you take action. Trust that divine timing is at work. Be patient and play whilst you wait. Okay, so this is probably not the most fun energy, or probably not the energy that you were wanting or desiring for the month of April, but this month will probably realistically be a time of waiting for you. You'll probably be in a little bit of a holding pattern, and you may not see a lot of action, go happening when it comes to things that you want this month. So not exactly the most fun energy, but hey, we got to deal with it, right? I guess in some ways it does make sense because at least towards the end of April, we get into Taurus season. And Taurus season, it's the bull, it's earth energy, it's a little bit more stubborn and slower. So I guess that makes sense, with having to be patient. So yeah, not exactly fun. And astrologically, I feel like this makes sense because we're in Mercury. I can't even talk. See, it's even affecting me. Mercury retrograde. We are in Mercury retrograde majority of this month. I think until like the 25th or something like that. So it's like basically practically the entire month of April we are in Mercury retrograde. And when Mercury retrograde is around, we get the technological snafus, we get the communication breakdowns, we get the delays, we get all that annoying stuff going on. So from an astrological perspective, it would make sense why we would need a little bit more patience than usual. So, um, yeah, not exactly the most fun energy to start things off on, but I also don't feel like it's anything too crazy severe. It's kind of just like a heads up, like, hey, this is kind of an annoying energy that might overlap throughout the month. So let's see what else is happening here. Growth. Ooh. And that is something that happens usually when we have to be patient. Okay. Seek out a mentor or guide. Take baby steps as you grow. Be willing to learn from others. Okay. Very cool. Um, so yeah, like I said, patience and growth do kind of go hand in hand. When we're in seasons where we're waiting, where we feel like not a lot is happening, that is usually when the most amount of growth happens. Think of it this way. It's like when you plant a seed in the ground, right? You plant that seed and you're just waiting for a while. You're watering it, you're making sure it's getting sunlight, and you're doing all the things to make sure it's healthy and strong, but you don't know what's happening because you don't see what's happening in that soil. So you have to be patient until you start seeing something sprout up out of that soil, right? But just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. There is growth happening. Those roots are sprouting out from that seed. They're getting deeper in the soil. They're growing. They're expanding. They're making things nice and solid and stable for whatever parts of that plant do wind up reaching up through the sky, right? Um, so I feel like it's definitely that kind of energy. So you're going to be going through some growing pains here. Not exactly fun, but it is appropriate. It is very matching when it comes to that patience energy. As for the seeking a mentor or a guide, I do feel like that is a good recommendation because if we have someone to kind of like, I don't want to say like hold our hand and babysit us or anything, but someone who can definitely coach us and be an accountability partner in a sense, it'll definitely lessen the blow when it comes to those growing pains. It's always easier to get through things with a little bit of support and encouragement with someone who can understand. Um, so, this could be a lot of different people. Like, for example, if you're in therapy, this could be your therapist. It could be a very close friend. It could be a family member. It could be a parent. So take this person as whoever it is. If you don't have a guide or a mentor and you're seeking for one, um, I mean, one place I would definitely recommend connecting at would be my Patreon. I'm just gonna put that out there. Not necessarily for me. I don't like sitting here boasting and bragging and saying like, oh, I'm the perfect guide and I'm the perfect mentor. If people find my words to be helpful, like that's fantastic and that's wonderful. And it is definitely my heart to help people. However, I know I am definitely flawed and I'm definitely human, and I am a work in progress myself. Um, but whether it's through me or even other people in my Patreon, I definitely invite you to connect with me there, because that is meant to be a safe space for people to connect with each other and to find community and growth, and ultimately have that support system and have encouragement. It doesn't even have to be from me. It could be from other members that are simply there in Patreon. So I definitely encourage you to join me over there if you're seeking for that. But otherwise, hey, if you got a therapist or you have a close family member or friend who can be that person for you, more power to you with that too. Either way, I definitely feel like the accountability partner is important. Shadow, you already ate dinner. Yeah, you already ate. Sorry, the dog food bowl is, or not bowl, the bin of dog food is like not far from where I sit and do readings, and Shadow's like coming over and sniffing the food, and they already ate, so I don't know why he's looking for like a second meal. No, you're fine. You can wait for something until after I'm done with this reading. You guys ate not that long ago. Okay, so yeah, those are our unicorn oracle cards. Definitely so far a month of patience and growth. The energy is almost kind of very stagnant, you guys. I feel like it's gonna feel stagnant externally on the surface this month. That doesn't mean it's going to be like stagnant spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Like, I feel like there's going to be a lot happening internally. I feel like there's going to be a lot happening spiritually and behind the scenes that you're not going to be able to see, that you're not going to necessarily be aware of. So it is going to be active in one aspect, but to your mind's eye and in the physical, it's not going to appear to be an active month. All right, so now we have some cards from the Divine Feather Oracle. And we have the Crane. You will soon enter into a beneficial partnership. Luck and longevity. Bless this union. Ooh, okay, okay. I'm starting. Oh, you decided to lay down in the bed next to me. Okay, that's fine. I have a dog bed at my feet, and he decided to lay down there. That's perfectly fine. Anyways, I'm starting to see where this patience and growth is now referencing. So when I look at partnership, I look at this as two possibilities, but I have a feeling it leans a little bit closer on one side as opposed to the other. So this could, number one, be a business partnership. It could be some kind of partnership when it comes to your work, your career, partnering up with somebody when it comes to that. Or secondly, which I feel like it's probably more so the second one than the first one for a lot of you guys, this is romantic, a romantic partnership, a romantic union. So I feel like there is definitely a person of interest, a very significant person in your life. Whether you guys have actually already been together or not, maybe you have and you're separated now. Maybe this is someone that you have been desiring having a relationship with, but it just hasn't happened yet due to whatever factors, whether it's timing or circumstantial, whatever the case may be. But regardless, I do feel like there is this partnership, regardless of what the history and longevity here looks like, that there's this partnership that you've been waiting for. Now, usually when I see things like patience and growth and partnership, my spidey sense goes off, and automatically I would definitely kind of have to weigh in and say this is most likely a twin flame connection. Now, I'm not saying that a soulmate connection doesn't require any growth or patience, because it can, but like the whole entire purpose of a twin flame relationship is growth. And you have to have like ginormous levels of patience to be in a twin flame situation. So I feel like for most people who are watching this, It is probably in regards to a twin flame connection. And the patience and growth here is not necessarily over, but Spirit definitely acknowledges this relationship. It definitely acknowledges this connection. And it is saying that luck and longevity bless this union. So, I mean, the union you desire with this person, it is on its way. It's definitely a long journey to get there. And I don't feel like the union is going to be happening in April because this is the energy of April. But I feel like whatever you're experiencing now, maybe it's going to be setting you up for union in May or over the summer or maybe sometime later on this year. So, anyways, yeah, definitely that's pretty huge. Do not drink too much water, please. Yeah, I don't want to be taking you to the ER tonight. Be careful. You okay? Okay, sorry. Tinkerbell was drinking some water, and I have to watch her water intake. Last time, well, this is a completely separate thing, and I don't want to make this pick a card reading about Tinkerbell and her water problems, but she's had a couple of seizures, and one time she had a seizure, it was after she had a lot of water. So I'm not 100% sure if it was due to water intoxication, because I didn't even know water intoxication is a thing in dogs, but it can happen, and she is very tiny, so she cannot like hold a ton of water either. So I have to really monitor her when it comes to water intake. So, anyways, I had to check on her with that. Getting back to what I was saying though, yes, so twin flame thing. Let's see what the next feather is. This feather, the loon. You may feel a little loony when you're in a twin flame dynamic. I understand that one. Pay attention to your dream time. Messages of guidance are drifting in. Ooh, so this is going to be a very dream heavy month. So I feel like automatically the first thing that just popped into my mind, dream journal, dream journal. So make sure you guys have a notebook and a pen, something like on your nightstand near your bed at night, so you can write down your dreams. Even if you don't have like a notebook or something, like open up the notes app in your phone. Just make sure you're jotting this down somewhere, somehow, some way, because I feel like this month in particular, once again, this is kind of connected to how it's going to be very active on a spiritual, emotional, mental level. That there's going to be a lot happening behind the scenes, and I feel like your dream life is going to be heavily reflecting that. You're going to be getting a lot of messages, a lot of downloads, a lot of um, a lot of communication from your twin flame in your dream life, a lot of communication from spirit telling you stuff and giving you signs and synchronicities in your dream life. So definitely be alert to your dreams this month. You're going to be getting a lot of messages, a lot of downloads. You're going to want to write this stuff down, because, you know, if it's like April 22nd, you're probably not going to remember the dream that you had on April 5th, for example. So make sure you're writing these down. When the month is wrapping up, you can really like look back and see what the patterns are, what the messages are, you know, really take some time to reflect on those. So definitely you're going to be getting a lot of messages this month in your dreams. All right, so next we have some messages from In My Feels, which is my own oracle deck. Oh, hostile, blinded by rage. Okay, so the interesting thing about this card is we do have a couple on it that's fighting here, and I feel like this may kind of be your emotions towards your twin as of the moment, that you probably feel pretty hostile towards them. And I feel like that hostility comes from the patience, the constant growth, the constant stagnation, the constant Yeah, the constant frustration of all of that, whether it's simply being in separation, maybe they're ignoring you, they're ghosting you, they're not talking to you, um, all that kind of stuff. Like, I just feel like this person has done so much to rightfully so piss you off. And with the frustration that you have from them compounded with, I feel like, frustration that you have even from spirit, like I feel like there might even be a part of you that's even kind of hostile and angry towards spirit, because it's like you get those dreams, you get those signs, you get those synchronicities, um you get all of that stuff, you get all the confirmation, and you're constantly kind of in this holding pattern of having to be patient and having to grow, and you're exhausted and you're tired, and there's a part of you that almost feels like even spirit has gaslit you in a sense. So I feel like you have a lot of hostility in this situation, and that's probably one of the reasons why you're not in union yet, because I mean, spirit's not going to give you the green light to be like, oh yeah, go ahead, be in union because you're mad. I mean, that's like rewarding a child for throwing a temper tantrum. Like, you're not going to do that. Like, the child is going to have to calm down, is what it comes down to. You're not going to be like, oh yeah, here's your toy that you want, here's, that candy that you want or whatever. You're screaming and yelling, so I'm just going to give it to you. Like, that's not the way it works. So hence some more of this patience and growth that's going to be happening. I'm not saying that you don't have any right to be upset, but I feel like this energy needs to calm down. Like, it's more like have a holy anger about it rather than a hostile anger. And when I say holy anger, I mean, like, yes, it's justified in being angry, but you can also be calm, and you can also be open and receptive to things changing in a sense. Let's see what else we got. Oh gosh, you guys. Depressed, defeated, hopeless. This is going to be a rough month, you guys. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a rough month for you. Yeah, we've got hostile, we've got depressed, and these are all feelings that someone usually goes through. They're all a part of the many different stages that you go through in the twin flame journey, especially when you are in a season of separation. So yeah, you may not be talking to this person. Even if you are talking to this person, it could be really hard. When you do have to see this person or talk to this person, it could be very strained, could be very awkward and uncomfortable. But yeah, I feel like as you guys are going through this season of growing and having to be patient, you're going to be experiencing all the ray of emotions that come with that, which means there are going to be days where you're going to want to scream and yell, and like you're going to want to punch something, and then there are going to be days where you're just going to want to cry and not leave your room, and just like you're going to want to go catatonic in a sense. Um, so yeah, and that's not uncommon when it comes to growth. Growth is uncomfortable. Growth is not easy. It's not fun. It's like, oh yay, I get to grow. This is going to be like rainbows and sunshine and butterflies and woo, all that fun stuff. Once again, think about that seed that is in the soil that is yet to pop up out of that soil, right? Um, when it's in that soil, it's in a dark place. It's in a dark place. It can't see. It can't breathe. It feels smothered. It feels suffocated. The only way that it can get out of there is by stretching and reaching with those roots, right? And by stretching and reaching upward. So that's what you got to do. You got to stretch and you got to reach this month. And that's not going to be easy because you are going to feel suffocated. It's going to be dark. You're going to be scared. And that is a depressing place to be. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is not going to be an easy month. It is definitely going to be one for the record books. It's going to be very challenging, and it's all connected to this twin flame, which is no surprise because that's what twins do. We also have vulnerable, exposed, sensitive. So the reason why this is happening is spirit is trying to break you out of depression and hostility and move you to a place of vulnerability. When we're truly vulnerable, like, you can be completely open and honest and real and raw about these emotions, but you got to be vulnerable enough to like let those emotions be shown. It's about exposing the real you and not being afraid to. And, for example, now this is one thing that I personally have never agreed with, that I've never liked when it comes to the twin flame journey. And a lot of the times, people will talk about the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and how the divine feminine is not supposed to chase after the divine masculine, blah, 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 blah. Now, I do agree that you shouldn't like chase after things and that you should like allow things to come to you. I do believe that. And like I do believe in doing those things, obviously, healthily. But the thing that I never agreed with is like, it's almost to the point where it's just like, they have to do all the work and they have to come after you, and you can't. And it's almost like you're not allowed to say how you really feel. And the thing is, like, if you care about somebody, if you love somebody, be honest about it. Be transparent about it. You can say that. You can say, "Hey, I care about you. You're important to me." Like, life is too short to be playing those games. And I feel like a lot of that, oh, the divine masculine is supposed to chase after the divine feminine, blah 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 blah. I feel like a lot of that plays into patriarchy, and it's games is what it comes down to. And that's not spiritual to me. Spiritual is being genuine and real and authentic with your emotions. Now, you can be genuine and real with your emotions, and you can still have boundaries, and you don't have to be desperate, and you don't have to be clingy, and you don't have to go chasing after this person. You can be honest about how you feel and then leave it at that and allow them to react accordingly. And if they react well, great, wonderful. And if they don't, well, then, at least it's out there and it's done. And you go and you live your life and you do your thing. And one day they may come around and they may be like, "Oh, hey, you know what? Like, I really appreciate the fact that you felt that way towards me. And, I wasn't ready at that time, but I think I'm ready now." And that happens a lot in these twin flame situations. So I feel like with this card, be real with your emotions. Be real with how you feel. Be real with the fact that, yes, they make you mad a lot of the times and they make you sad a lot of the times. And be real with the fact that you love this person and you care about this person. Be real with yourself. Be honest in your communication. And just because you're honest about that doesn't mean you're chasing someone, doesn't mean you're doing any of those desperate, clingy things. It just means you're being real and raw and genuine and authentic. And that's honestly all that matters. You can't control how someone reacts to that. You're not responsible for that. All you're responsible for is your end of the street. And I feel like Spirit definitely wants to kind of like open up that shell a little bit in you this month and get you to that vulnerable place, at least with yourself. If with no one else, at least with yourself. And we have left out excluded, rejected, abandoned. Once again, I feel like these are probably emotions that you feel dealing with your twin. I definitely feel like you are separated from this person. They're either ghosting you, not speaking to you. There's something going on here where they definitely have made you feel left out once again. I feel like that's confirmation of that. And finally, we have nervous, apprehensive, hesitant. So I feel like this is actually an energy that the both of you embody, because it's very common for twins to bring out the nervousness in one another. And that nervousness comes from that growth because, it's like when that person comes into your life, they are inevitably going to change it and transform it. And that can be very nerve wracking. So, I mean, for you sitting here listening to this reading, it may make you feel nervous. It may make you feel nervous, the idea of having these not so great emotions, having to be more patient, having to be real and vulnerable. It may make you nervous doing all those things, but just remember your twin is a mirror image of you. They are experiencing much of the same that you are. So if you're feeling nervous, they are feeling nervous too. And they probably feel just as nervous when it comes to getting vulnerable, when it comes to opening up and all those other things. So there's definitely a nervousness here, but the nervousness doesn't have to be a bad thing. I feel like it can definitely kind of help keep you on your toes, especially in those moments when you're feeling depressed, because the nervousness, in a sense, is going to give you a little bit of an energy boost, but don't let your nerves get to the best of you. I feel like the vulnerability card here is kind of the key to everything for you guys this month. That if you can unlock the key for your vulnerability this month, that you will be able to move past hostility, depression, the feelings of being left out, the feelings of being nervous, and you will be able to handle any kind of patience a lot better. You'll be able to grow through this a lot more, and you will be well on your way to actually making a physical union with this person happen. Now, honestly, do I feel like this union is going to happen this month? No, I do not. It's possible it could happen in May if you really, really work on this, but I don't want to make any promises there. But do I feel like it's more realistically, do I feel like it's possible it could happen this year? Absolutely. Absolutely, it can. Um, so please do not give up on yourself or your journey or how you feel or any of those kinds of things. Um, I'm not going to lie to you guys. April is going to be rough. Like I said, it's kind of a stagnant energy for you guys in the physical. But in the emotional, mental, and spiritual, there is so much movement. There is so much change. There is so much potential actually to come out of this month on the other side a lot better. So it can like move things upwards for you guys physical, in physical as well. Um, so once again, I really want to invite you guys to my Patreon because Twin Flames is definitely one of the focuses in my Patreon. And, I know that this stuff, it's not an easy journey to go through. It's not an easy thing to deal with. So like I said, even if it's not me that you're like getting the guidance from directly, I feel like if you just need community, if you need to not feel alone in this journey, if you need a little bit of a support system, if you're looking for friends to connect, please, please, please join me on my Patreon because it is there as an outlet for that form of encouragement. There's daily card pulls, there's weekly card pulls, of course, just for like the general stuff on like a daily and weekly basis. But the Patreon, it's important because there's that Discord section that's there for the $5 tier and up. And that's really where the magic happens when it comes to connecting with other people. So I definitely really want to invite you guys over there for that. I know there's like a lot of twin flame Facebook groups out there and everything. Even I have a twin flame Facebook group, but I feel like doing it on Patreon is so much better because there's a lot more safety and security involved. There's a paywall involved. So it keeps any like trolls and spammers and even like potential people who would be connected to your connection who would want to sabotage it. It keeps those kinds of people out and away from it. So, definitely you are welcome to join over on Patreon because I feel like that would be really helpful for you guys, especially in months like this one. And hopefully May will be a lot better and be looking a lot shinier and brighter for you guys. Anyways, that's basically what I have for you happening for your April 2024. If this message did not apply, just let it fly. But if it did resonate, of course, you will know why. And I would just ask you guys before you head on out of here to give this video a big thumbs up because that helps me out a lot here on the YouTube algorithm. And if I resonate with you as a reader, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time a brand new video goes up, any news or updates are posted, anytime I'm live, any of that good stuff. Like I said, you will be the first in the know. And also, feel free to drop me a comment down below. Even a simple small emoji, it definitely helps out. So I would love to hear from you there as well. And, if not communicate on Patreon, communicate with me here on YouTube. There's also a free section on Patreon too, so you don't have to pay to be a part of the Patreon. You do have to pay to be a part of the Discord, but you don't have to pay to be in Patreon in general. Anyways, so yeah. Also, if I resonate with you as a reader and you want to get into this kind of stuff more in depth, because once again, this is a collective reading. It is general. It is open for everyone. But if you want to dive in deep for your own personal stuff, I would love to assist you on your journey. So you can head on over to my website, shadowandshine.com. There are personal readings available there if you're interested in them. And also oracle decks are over there as well, such as this one that I have used today for you guys in my feels as well as other ones. So whether you are doing readings for yourself, for friends, for clients of your own, it's a wonderful resource to be able to add to your own personal collection. So once again, shadowandshine.com, your one-stop shop for everything. Links to my website, Patreon, all of my other socials, all the other things that you need to know are, of course, in the description box down below. And that is basically it. Otherwise, I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 4, if you chose the copper sphere, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what is in store for you for April of 2024. All right, good stuff. Okay, so we have a couple of different decks here to go through. We're going to start off here with you guys on your Unicorn Oracle cards. Yes, Unicorn, the Unicorn Oracle deck in these two cards. I'm like, what am I saying? I'm on my fourth deck. I've obviously been reading for a while here, so who knows? My brain and my mouth are not necessarily matching up in terms of words. Okay, so you guys got gentleness. Be kind to yourself and others. Honor your gentleness. Speak words of love. Such a beautiful card. We have this girl and her unicorn, and they're standing by a gorgeous body of water at either sunrise or sunset. And it just looks so tender. It's just like this tender, caring, loving moment between the two of them. And I feel like this is definitely a very soft energy to kick this reading off with, which is beautiful. I mean, we all need a little bit more softness in the world, right? This world can feel so very bright and harsh and difficult. So we need some softness every once in a while. I especially love the last sentence here. It says, speak words of love. So I feel like this month is going to be a big month for you to speak words of love and affection over yourself and your life, words of affirmation, words of gratitude, words of all the good stuff, like just fill your balloon up is what it comes down to. There is no ending in sight. I mean, the world gives us plenty of opportunities and reasons to tear ourselves down every single day. So I feel like this is definitely going to be a big month for you guys to just uplift yourself. It's like be your own cheerleader. Every day you wake up, you look at yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself how amazing you are, how beautiful and gorgeous, gifted, talented, smart, and funny you are, and get out there and just like embrace the day. So I love this. Beautiful, beautiful energy to start this reading off. What else do we need to know? Expansion. All right. Spread your wings and soar. Share your message and shine your light. Show the world what you're made of. Oh, you guys, so beautiful. Just as beautiful as the first card. Um, we have this gorgeous, is this even a unicorn? It's a Pegasus. It doesn't even have a horn on it. It's a straight up Pegasus. It's not even a unicorn. Okay, so we have this Pegasus, which is funny because I have a Pegasus Oracle deck, and it's not a part of that deck. Okay, anyways, so we have this Pegasus that is just like flying through, soaring like straight out of a source of light. Like that's where it's coming from. It's flying out of a source of light, this sunshine, and through these beautiful blue clouds. And that's you guys just going to be shooting out from a source of light. And you know where that source of light comes from? Those words of love, those words of affirmation, because love is light, light is love, right? So you guys are just going to be soaring right on through that. So with expansion, this definitely tells me that something is going to be growing in your life this month. Something is going to be expanding. Now, take it as it resonates because this may look different for everybody. It is a collective reading. It is general, of course, overall. So this could be expansion in terms of your home life. It could be like getting a larger home. It could be expanding your family, maybe having like a new family member, a baby, something like that. It could be expansion of your business. So it could be like getting a promotion or getting a raise, getting more money, expanding your business if you own like a business or something like that. It could be expansion in your relationships, like deciding to become exclusive with somebody or getting engaged or getting married, but some kind of expansion in terms of a relationship. So either way, expansion, growth, something is expanding here for you guys in the month of April. Like I said, this may be something different for everybody here, but something is growing and it's expanding. And the reason why is because you have been pouring love, affection, attention. You've been feeding all the good stuff to this area in life that is going to be expanding this month. And the other thing I think that's really beautiful about this card is it says, share your message and shine your light, show the world what you're made of. So I feel like in the journey that you guys are on, with things expanding and growing this month, you guys have quite the epic story to share. You guys have a beautiful story that needs to be seen, and that no one else can share that story. No one else can tell that story the way you do. So you may think that you may not have much to say, that you may not have much to share. You may not think that you're a voice of inspiration, but I'm telling you right now, you are. You are an inspiration to somebody out there. So don't be afraid to let this shine. Don't be afraid to let this sparkle and radiate and just glow out there, because somebody needs to hear this. Like this expansion that you're experiencing this month, this success that you're experiencing this month, this has been a long process to get here. It's been a long process of loving on yourself and believing in yourself and affirming in things and being thankful for things and all that kind of stuff. It's been a long journey to get there. And there's somebody else out there who is at the starting point that you once upon a time were at. And that's why they need to hear your story. That's why they need to hear about everything that you have overcome. And that's why they need to hear about your successes, because it's going to give them hope and them inspiration to be just like, hey, if they were able to do it, I can do it too. So that's just It's just beautiful energy coming through right now. Okay, what else do we need to know? We've got a couple of cards here from the Divine Feather Oracle. We have the White Owl. The wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. So, again, if you don't feel like you have a story that is worth sharing, if you, or even if you know you have a story that's worth sharing, but maybe you feel like you don't have the eloquence or the words or the charisma in order to express it the right way, you do. You do. Don't worry about that. Um, just speak from your heart. Speak from your heart. The words will flow. The divine spirit has got you. Don't worry about that. Do not worry about that at all. So, yeah. Pretty easy peasy right there. Like spirit's got you. Spirit has got you on this. And we have I already know which one this is without even looking at it. It's the Blue Jay. And you want to know why I know it's the Blue Jay? Because this was I believe it was the weekly card pull. I think it was the weekly card pull for this past week in my Patreon. So if you're seeing this and you're on Patreon, well, then this may be just like double confirmation for you. But yeah, we got the Blue Jay here. See, told you, the Blue Jay. This time is right to access and master your abilities. Do so with humility and control. So I feel like a part of this expansion and everything, it's definitely going to be growing and bringing more so in depth your spiritual gifts and your natural talents. And that could be a lot of different things. You know, spiritual gifts could be doing stuff like this. It could be reading cards. It could be mediumship. It could be astrology. It could be a lot of different things. Natural talents could be, anything that's, it could be like writing. It could be something artistic. It could be musical. It could be even just like working on your skill sets for your job or something like that. Like there's so many different types of talents out there. But either way, I do feel like in the month of April, you're going to be strengthening those. You're going to be strengthening your talents, growing them. They're going to be brought more so in depth. That could be a part of what the expansion is in regards to. It could be expanding those gifts, expanding those talents, which is going to be not only fun for you because it's like when we expand our gifts and our talents, it's a fun adventure. It's a fun adventure to do that. But it's also going to be so incredibly beneficial to others around you who can receive from your gifts and from your talents. We also have some cards here for you guys from my own Oracle deck in my feels. And you guys got vibrant, thriving, spirited, yes. And once again, beautiful energy here. We have this woman who is like on a hike and she is just like peering out into the distance of the beautiful surroundings around her. She's thriving. She is living life to her fullest. And I feel like that's the theme for you guys this month. This is going to be a good month for you guys. This is definitely going to be one of the months where you sparkle and you shine and you're feeling good and you're just, you're thriving and you're vibrant. So definitely, I feel like it's kind of compounding here with that. Silly, goofy, weird, funny. So we have this group of friends here and, they're just having a good time. This just looks like a fun group that's having a lot of fun. So I feel like once again, this is you this month. I'm not saying that you're silly and you're not going to take things seriously in the month of April, but I feel like it's going to be fun. It's a fun, lighthearted energy that you guys are going to be enjoying. You're going to be enjoying life. It's going to be fun. It's going to be lighthearted. And all the goofy and weird, like it's your normal for you is what it comes down to. And considering we have this group of friends here, I feel like you guys are definitely going to be sharing a lot of time with others around you, whether it's a friend group or maybe it's coworkers that you really enjoy working with, or colleagues, people that you collaborate with and work. It could be family members, but either way, I definitely feel like there is a group. There's a solid, like, full group of people that you're going to be spending quite a bit of time with during the month of April and just having fun. You may have a lot of social activities, for example, planned throughout the month of April, and that's going to be a lot of fun for you too. So yes, yes, yes. What else do we have? Ooh, deceptive, liar, misleading. Well, that's kind of a curveball. We have all this good energy going on, and all of a sudden, this. I'm going to come back to this because it is kind of random, because we have had such positive energy up until this point. I want to see what the next two cards are, because it may help clarify what this one here is all about. So let's see what the next two are. Humble, modest, polite, respectful. I feel like that is you guys. I mean, once again, with the exception of the deceptive card, I feel like we do have a lot of positive overall energy happening here. Now, the humble card, I feel like definitely connects to the gentleness card, like gentleness and humility. I feel like those things go hand in hand together. It's you definitely being kind and gentle to yourself, but in a respectful way, not like in a conceited way, not in a way where you're full of yourself, not in a narcissistic way or anything like that. I feel like you guys are very good at keeping it real, that you know what your worth is, you know what your value is, you have something to offer this world, but you also know that you're human and that you're flawed and that you don't have all the answers and that it's not like you are God's gift to the world or something, but you know that you do have a gift to bring to this world that's worthwhile, if that makes any sense. So I feel like that definitely makes sense there. And we have bougie, interesting, expensive, chic, high class. So this could be in regards to the expansion that you guys are going to be having here in the month of April. Now, I'm not saying that you guys are going to be able to like hop on private jets and get in your yacht and sail around the world or anything like that, but I do feel like this is like an upgrade is what it comes down to. It's like a new level. A new level is what it comes down to. So I definitely feel like this bougie energy, it does represent upgrading things. It does represent things going to a higher level. Now, this could be in regards to things financially. It definitely can. If the upgrading is more so relationship wise or something, it's just basically showing that this is going to be like a higher quality relationship. Not that it's going to be like a bougie relationship, but it's just going to be more high quality is what it comes down to. So it's very high quality here. Now, I don't really have an answer for this deceptive card, and usually I would not pull any other cards, but this one just kind of like sticks out as a sore thumb in this group. So, if you guys just hold on one second here, I'm going to scooch my chair away for just a second. And I am grabbing the remainder here of the cards from In My Feels. And I'm just going to straight out ask for a clarifier here, because this is literally the only card in this spread that makes no sense to me. Like, none of the other groups had this issue. Like, all the other cards like totally flowed and it made sense. But this one card, it's like it just doesn't belong. I'm like, who's lying here? It doesn't make any sense. Like, especially considering the energy here is so beautiful with everything else. And honestly, like, I have recorded the shortest amount of time here so far for you guys, because simply because the energy has been so beautiful and it's been so go with the flow. Like, usually, the more challenges there are in a reading, the longer the pile will be. But you guys have like this lovely overall energy, except for this one thing. So I just want to know, what is that one thing? So, can we get a clarifier here, please, for this deceptive card? Okay. All right. Well, I was kind of picking up on that, but I feel like we got the confirmation for sure now. I didn't want to say it unless I knew 100%. And the other cards that came through were not confirming that, but now I've got the confirmation. Okay. So we have vengeful, spiteful, malicious. Okay. So I do not feel like in any way, shape, or form that this is you. That you are the vengeful one and that you are the deceptive one. I don't feel that way at all. However, if we take this away and we're just looking at all of this energy here, which, as I said, this is beautiful energy. This is expansion. This is things going better. This is growth happening in your life. This is you having a good time. This is you thriving and being vibrant. This is you upgrading things in your life. When those things happen, enemies come out of the woodwork. Even people who we thought were our friends come out of the woodwork. So I feel like that there may be someone around you where they may deceptively put on a false mask, and they may act like they're supportive, and they may act like they're a friend, and they may act like, oh yeah, this is all great, this is wonderful, I'm so happy for you. They may present themselves that way, but they're lying. They don't actually feel that way. I feel, and even though you guys didn't get the card, because there is a jealousy card that's in this deck, and that actually went to one of the other piles. I can't remember which pile it was, but if it was that other pile, you may have felt drawn to both this pile and that one. So, yeah, because there was definitely a theme in one of the other piles where someone was jealous of the people in that particular group. And I feel like there's someone who is definitely jealous of you here in this group as well. Otherwise, they wouldn't be putting on this act like, oh, yeah, everything's hunky dory, everything's great. But I feel like on the inside, this person is kind of like spiteful towards you. They're not happy about this. And if anything, they kind of wish they could like pull out that voodoo doll and like just stick stuff in that and make things happen to you. Now, granted, I don't feel like that's going to happen at all. This person does not have that kind of power on you, so don't even worry about that. No one has that kind of power over you, but I would definitely look out for that. And I feel like if this person does appear, this is someone who's probably going to appear to be a little overly supportive, a little overly happy for you. I would be careful of that. That's not to say that people can't be genuinely happy for you and supportive of you, because I feel like you're going to have a lot of those people as well. But there's going to be that one person where it's going to stick out. It's going to be a little weird. It's going to be a little funky. It's going to come off a little too much, a little too fake, a little too phony. So I would definitely just kind of like watch out for that person. Now, do I feel like that person has any real power over you? Do I feel like that person has any real ability to do any kind of harm to you? Not at all. Definitely not. Don't worry about that. I would just be careful in the sense of just like, just like protect your energy, just like, have boundaries in place, all that kind of stuff when it comes down to that. Because when we are successful and when we do have wins happen for us, it's a true testament to other people around us. The people who really love us and support us will be there, and their true colors will show. And same will the true colors show for the people who have been masking around as friends and who really aren't, and who are actually hidden enemies. So just be careful of that. But I don't want you guys to get hung up on that one little part from this reading, because, I mean, before we got the confirmation card here, all we had was this one card. One card. Everything else, though, was all this beautiful energy. So considering we had a lot more beautiful energy coming through than icky energy coming through, I feel like Spirit wants you to stay focused on the majority. Stay focused on the good stuff here. This other stuff here, it's more like, hey, just have a heads up, take note of this, but this is not going to like heavily impact anything. Just take note of it. Otherwise, really focus on the big picture here, which is the fact that you have a lot more good happening for you, blessing you, happening in your favor for the month of April than not. So thrive in that, be grateful, be thankful, and celebrate your wins. Celebrate, enjoy, by all means. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate just because of one sourpuss. So yeah, that's basically it. That is basically what I have for you guys. And you guys were still a shorter reading than I thought you were going to be, but like I said, if it's a shorter reading, that's a good thing, because that means that there's probably more positive things happening than negative things or difficult things you need to work through or grow through or work on, or any of that kind of stuff. So yay for you. Anyways, so before I wrap things up here, you guys, I just want to ask you to go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, because that definitely helps me out a lot here on the YouTube algorithm. And if I resonate with you as a reader, I would like to invite you to go ahead and subscribe at this time and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time a brand new reading goes up, every time a new update is posted, every time I go live, anytime any of those things happen. And also drop me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. So don't be shy. Feel free to say hi. Even a simple small emoji goes a long way. And yeah, so once again, you guys, if this message did not fly or did not apply, if it did not apply, let it fly. I'm like, I can't talk. You guys are my last pile of the night, so I'm winding down here as it is. I know what I want to say, but sometimes my mouth is not able to catch up with what my brain is trying to say, in a sense. But anyways, yeah. So if the message didn't apply, let it fly. But if it did make sense, you will indefinitely know why. Finally, you guys, if I really, really resonated with you as a reader and you would like to go more in depth and more deep on your own personal journey, I would love to assist you on that in a personal reading. And personal readings are available over on my website at shadowandshine.com. There's a whole bunch of different types there, so feel free to check it out and check one out for yourself. And of course, readings like these are general. They are open to the public. They are for the collective, obviously. So, if you're looking for something like really specific, a really specific situation to hone in on, personal readings are, of course, the best option for that. And also, you guys, my Oracle decks are for sale over there as well. So if you enjoyed In My Feels, which is this deck that I used here today, that deck is available up for sale on shadowandshine.com, as well as others. So if you are interested in doing readings for yourself, for your friends, for clients of your own, it is a wonderful deck, as well as the other ones there, to add to your collection, something unique and fun to add to that. And finally, you guys, I want to invite you over to my Patreon if you are interested in daily card pulls, weekly card pulls, and most importantly, connection and community with others. That was one of my main purposes for creating Patreon, not just for as I like almost burp into the microphone, and now my voice is like starting to go away. So I need to wrap this up. Anyways, but yeah, if you guys are interested in that, Patreon is available. I created Patreon mainly with the intention and the purpose of community. The daily card pulls and the weekly card pulls are, of course, a part of it, and they are wonderful all in of themselves. But I wanted to create a place where people could really connect with others and make friends, find soul family, find their tribe at the end of the day, because a lot of us are so busy trying to navigate this crazy thing called life and trying to find people who are like-hearted and like-minded. And of course, Patreon is a great place to do that. It's a great place to find support and encouragement, because sometimes we don't always necessarily have that in our in real life experiences, in our in person day to day circumstances. So I definitely want to make that available to you guys because I feel like community and connection, bottom line, it is so incredibly important. So please join me over on Patreon. There are paid memberships, of course, but you are also welcome to join just as free to kind of just like test it out and see if you would even want to join at a higher level tier or beyond that. So feel free to join me over on Patreon. Anyways, yeah, that's basically it. So, links to Patreon, my website, my other social media, all that other good stuff, all of that information is in the description down below. So, feel free to check that out. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up here, and it has been great hanging with you guys today. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling.